Hi. Welcome to Movie Synopsis. A Halloween night is shown at the start of the movie. And the mayor of Gotham City dies that night. Riddler was the name of the murderer, and he used to end the famous people of Gotham City. The special thing about the killer was it drops something special near the person whom he ends. He does the same this time. The police arrive the next day. And they find a card there. Haven't find a clue, let's play a game just me and you written on it. There were some code words and clues inside, and the interesting thing was, those clues were for Batman. The killer always gives clues to the Batman for his next murder. Who will be the next person whom he will end? The killer means to save the person if Batman can. Now the police and the Batman find the clue. Who will be the next person? The police and Batman take the man out while finding the person, but Riddler ends the person. Here we discover this was Riddler's plan, as he doesn't know the man whom he has to end. The police and Batman have completed his task. We saw the mayor's death at the start of the movie, and Riddler has separated his thumb. Riddler has separated his thumb because the mayor was lewd and an evil human. He has a friend with him as well, a girl who works in a bar. The police and Batman find a pen drive. They check and found the pictures of the mayor along with the girl named Annika. They were moving out of the iceberg, and the strange thing was the video gets public when they were watching it. This video was on every news channel on TV, and then Gotham City discovered that the mayor was an evil and lewd man. Then Batman is shown who has reached iceberg, but the people were forbidding him to come inside. And they fight with him. Now Batman was fighting with them alone. Meanwhile, their head arrives and asks Batman, "What are you doing here?" He shows him Annika's pictures whom he saw with the mayor in the video. But he doesn't tell him anything about the girl. Meanwhile, Batman sees Catwoman. He starts chasing her, but she escaped as she has some other plan. She was trying to steal the passport, but couldn't find it. Then she goes to the mayor's house. She doesn't find the mayor's passport, but finds Annika's passport. When she reaches the apartment with the passport, she meets Batman. Her apartment was destroyed completely. It seems like someone has ruined her apartment willingly. Seeing it, Batman says to the Catwoman, "Now we have to do the job together." She agrees with the Batman. Then he gives her a camera, and it was a lens camera. That whatever Catwoman will see, that will be visible to Batman. Now Catwoman has reached the Iceberg Lounge to find out about her friend Annika. The places the Catwoman was seeing were also visible to Batman. Batman discovers there are evil and the great personalities of the city in this lounge, and feeling maybe they are included in the mayor's death. Later, Catwoman meets a man. And the man shares the information about the place and people here. He was returning and meets the killer Riddler. And it seems like he was waiting for this man. He makes him injured, and then the scene shifts to the next day. And the people of Gotham City are shown at the funeral of their mayor. Meanwhile, a car arrives at a full speed and hits the window. It has moved inside, and the man comes out who has given the information to Catwoman. There was a bomb tied with his neck. And there was a tape on his mouth, having a mobile in his hand. Batman runs from there in a hurry and wears his costume. To handle this situation like this, people will not recognize him. Now voice comes from the phone tied to that man's hand. There was Riddler's voice, and he says to Batman, "I will give you 3 tasks, and if you will solve them, this man will be saved. If you do not respond correctly, this man will die." Now Batman has solved 2 questions, but he couldn't solve the third. Due to it, the bomb on that man's neck blasts. The man dies there. It was a huge blast that Batman also gets faint. He comes to his senses and sees an inspector, and there were other police officers. He tells the inspector many of the evil personalities of our city are connected with the police. "I can even give you a proof if you need, as I have got all the footage from the lens camera of the Catwoman." Batman was thinking the life of the inspector will be in danger if he will take any action against the police. Batman was pretending to quarrel with the inspector. Then he runs from there while hitting a punch on his face. Batman reaches home and discovers the commissioner died in the police station. Catwoman is shown in the next scene, who finds her best friend Annika's dead body. And Catwoman becomes worried seeing it. She wanted to save her best friend. The scene then shifts to Alfred, the man with whom Batman has lived since his childhood. Alfred receives a parcel that was for Batman. But he thinks something is wrong with this parcel. He doesn't seem good, so he throws it far from him. Meanwhile, there was a blast due to it. Alfred becomes injured. Then it is shown that Batman discovers his past. He discovers his father has made a huge company. That was for the poor, but his father wasn't good as he pretends in front of people. Batman's father wanted to help people for becoming the mayor of the city. The journalist discovered this news when he wanted this. That Batman's mother is a patient with a disease. The journalist wanted to publish this news, but Batman's father didn't want anyone to discover the disease of his wife. Then his father ordered some people to end that journalist. Now he becomes depressed after discovering all this. Later, he goes to a man named Falcone. And he was the partner of Batman's father. He asks the man, "Did my father was responsible for a journalist's death? Is this true?" The man says, "Yes, this is true. Your father hired me to end that journalist." He also tells the companions of the journalist, "Ended your parents after this incident." Batman becomes worried after hearing all this. He goes to his guardian Alfred, who was everything to him. He tells everything he heard about his parents to Alfred. Alfred tells his father was a nice human. And he never tried to end anyone. This all is a lie you have discovered. The truth is he went to Falcone to save the image of his family. But he didn't ask the man to end that man. He just said the image of my family would not be ruined. So there will be no impediment to them becoming mayor. The truth I didn't tell you till today is that the man Falcone ended your parents. Because the man has already ended the journalist. He doesn't want the police to know this. Only your parents know about it, that's why he ended your parents. Batman becomes furious after hearing all this. Then he reaches the Iceberg Lounge where he meets Catwoman. Now their purpose was the same. Catwoman's best friend died and Batman wants to take revenge on his parents. The twist is that Falcone was none other than Catwoman's father. She tells Batman that my mother used to do a job in this lounge. But my father never accepted me as a daughter. Now I want to take revenge on my father. And I want to end him. There was a heavy fight here. Finally, Catwoman gets the chance to end her father. The inspector and Batman forbids her. Then the man Falcone was handed over to the police. The police take him out and the killer Riddler who was waiting for him pointed at him. And he immediately ends him. Batman discovers more about the killer after the incident. Batman realizes that the Riddler is not randomly murdering people. He also discovers the killer Riddler thinks in his childhood. I am orphan as well as Batman, but I have seen all this carefully. The world is difficult without parents. Batman didn't face difficulty because his parents have left money. He was jealous of Batman as he never has seen any difficulty in his life. Even then, he is famous. And Batman who was discovering about Riddler. He comes to know the killer Riddler has set many bombs in the cars. And the cars blast near the water pipeline. There was a huge blast. And the water was filled there and the people of Gotham City reached the Gotham Garden. This was Riddler's plan and he knows what will happen next. Meanwhile, many companions of Riddler arrive with their guns. To end everyone one by one. Then Batman and Catwoman arrive to fight with them. They stop them and fight with them while using their skills. They snatch guns from them. Likewise, they have saved Gotham City from huge loss. The killer Riddler was caught and taken to prison. In the final scene, a Joker is seen in the next door cell to Riddler's cell. He was talking to Riddler. Here this movie ends.